So recently, the classical conflict of nature versus technology has been brought up on a few occasions for me, and I discussed it with our book club, and I was happy to see that most people were able to see that there is no inherent conflict between nature and technology, because ultimately technology is the product of nature. If you follow dialectical and materialist points of view when studying things, you will immediately see this connection between nature and technology, just simply because humans are products of nature. Therefore, whatever humans do to survive and to adapt better to their environments is going to be a product of nature. And let me know if adapt better is a tautology or not, because I think it is, because adaptation kind of implies positive change. But if we humans create something, whatever it is, this by default becomes an extension of us. That doesn't mean that this is something that rules over us. It's just that if we use a stick to grab onto something a little bit better, then we use it as an extension of our hand. If we use a computer to type up our ideas, we kind of use it as an extension of our mind to store information that otherwise may be forgotten. So as long as we use this technology as the tools, then there is no problem with that. And a lot of the major conflicts between nature versus technology, they happen due to the conditions, and capitalist conditions are going to be the best at creating any type of conflict. For example, nowadays people are so afraid of artificial intelligence taking over, taking people's jobs. And to many people, it is a legitimate fear. I do work with a lot of people who work in IT, and many of them have been laid off and replaced with artificial intelligence, even though, as far as I understand, artificial intelligence is kind of a misnomer. It's not truly an intelligence because it doesn't have the ability to actually produce any kind of thought. What it is an algorithm that is very good at predicting word combinations. At least ChatGPT, this is what I was told by some experts in the field. That's what it is. It's brilliant at what it is, but it is not an intelligence. And I've heard very recently that there's been a lot of additions to machine thinking or machine processing that is very close to being an actual artificial intelligence. So I think that a lot of people are going to have a lot more fear concerning this, which I share. I don't think it is a silly fear to be afraid of something new and unknown and something that has not really been studied well enough. And of course, I do remember stories like Ghost in the Shell and Blade Runner. And I do wish we as a community of people looked at the possible outcomes of us utilizing certain technological tools, because it appears like we are heading head fast into an unknown, into an abyss, and we may be surprised by the consequences. So maybe we should sit down and think about them now. But of course, for most of us, it's out of our control. We don't really have any means, any privileges to be able to talk about the developers of artificial intelligence or any kind of artificial intelligence adjacent type of technologies. But what I think we should be focusing on more, rather than the tools themselves, is the people behind it, because it's the people who create the tools, and it's the people who may misuse the tools in order to gain an unfair advantage, in order to exploit other people. The conditions of capitalism are such that they are giving people the means to exploit others. And it's not because of artificial intelligence. It's not because of technology. It's not because of robots taking over. Robots themselves have no intentions, and I've seen those ads about robots as well, and I'm both excited and a little bit scared of what's coming, because I think if we have access to technologies like this, it is going to absolutely change the world, and whether it is for better or for worse is going to depend on how long this capitalist machine is going to keep on grinding. Because if it keeps on grinding, it's going to continue destroying our lives with the usage of such technology, like the drones that don't need a person to operate them, but it can still carry out deadly strikes. This definitely is not a technology that's going to benefit the vast majority of the people. On the other hand, if this technology exists, then the means to creating and replicating such technologies can be revoked, then the means can be returned, then the means can be utilized for the people. So if we look at all of these technologies, if we look at artificial intelligence and robots from the standpoint of communism, then we see that these are amazing, great tools which can vastly improve human life if they are in the right hands, meaning the hands of the actual people. If the technological tools only belong to a select few, yeah, I would agree that this is a recipe for disaster, and it's kind of terrifying what's gonna come next. Are we all gonna be replaced by robots? Who knows? But it's not the fault of the robots, it's not the fault of the technology itself, it's the fault of the capitalists, the people who want to use these technologies against the fellow man. The technology itself is neutral. It's a tool. We can use it for our own good. We can use it for harm. And nature and technology are not in inherent conflict. There is a unity in their struggle. We, as agents of nature, can use the tools that are available to us or create new tools in order to improve life, not only for ourselves, but for other species as well, in order to maintain that balance, not break it over. And of course, if we start breaking nature, then there is a great story by Ray Bradbury, which is called There Will Come Soft Rains, which was made into a couple of pretty brilliant Soviet cartoons, which I highly recommend just for the ambience. I don't necessarily agree with some of the parts depicted, but they're pretty curious to look at, that's for sure. So this story greatly portrays what may happen to us all if we continue this capitalistic, exploitative way of being and way of producing technology, and if we continuously use technology just for gaining profit instead of actually helping people and other species. So yeah, we can destroy ourselves using technology, or we can make ourselves thrive using technology. It is up to us, the people, to organize and claim back the means of production and claim back all of these technologies that ultimately we all created. None of the capitalists single-handedly created anything. It was all thanks to the labor of millions upon millions of people. I wish everybody realized this so we could internationally organize, but you know the drill. So I hope you have a great day today. Let me know what you think. Consider supporting me on Patreon. I'm going to be posting videos there regularly. Do take care of yourself and your community first, and I'll talk to you sometime later.